Welcome, everyone, to the Believe in Bengal podcast with yours truly, Solomon Wilcots. This is part of our Hello Rookie series as we get to meet the Cincinnati Bengals, who were drafted in the 2023 draft class. And right now joining us is their fifth-round pick out of Illinois. That's right, the running back, Chase Brown. Chase, how you doing today, my man?
I'm doing well. Excited to be on the show.
Well, it's always good to talk with you. It's a pleasure to meet you. I know you've been putting in plenty of work. Now, you got to help us out here. Help our Cincinnati Bengals fans to get to know you a little bit because you're a native of Ontario, Canada. How did you find your way out of Canada to make it to the National Football League? Tell us about your journey a little bit.
Yeah, man. So it's honestly it was all a blur up to this point. Started in London, Ontario, Canada, like you said. You made a little introduction there, but quickly took a turn down south to Bradenton, Florida, where we moved in with a host family. When I say we, I mean my brother and I,
Yeah.
my twin brother and I, and they took us in like family. We got recruited. We ended up going to college together. And then we ended up getting drafted in the same draft class. So it was one hell of a journey, but definitely a blessing at the same time being able to go through that whole process with my brother.
Hey, man, I looked this up and I was like, dude, you were part of like the 4x100 state championship team in
Yeah.
Florida.
We
You were run. I'm sorry.
we did everything. We did everything we could.
I know.
Any event that we thought we were competitive in, man, we did it. So
Oh, that's just incredible. How did you come by this energy, all this speed, and then obviously the drive to hone that talent?
man, it honestly started with the way that I grew up. Um, I've always fought to make my name known, and I put the work behind that. So I'm always trying to get better in any way possible, trying to build on my weaknesses while also building on my strengths. So I'm just trying to be the best at what I do. And I told myself, once I got this NFL opportunity, um, I was gonna do whatever it took to master my craft. Uh, I have all this extra time now that I can, just put in the football. All my
Yeah.
energy can now just be put in the football, and that's what I've always wanted to do. So, I'm definitely not taking this opportunity for granted. It's just a blessing to be in this position and to think about, where it all started. So that's what drives me.
Well, you're to be commended for your drive and for your energy. And hey, look, how about your production? Last year over 1,800 yards from scrimmage, third most in the nation. And man, I think that's saying a whole heck of a whole lot. You can run it, you can catch it, you can block. How did you come about refining all of those well-rounded talents to be a more well-rounded athlete?
Sorry, it started with, dropping balls. Okay, now I got to work on my pass catching. You know, messing up, a couple times in protection and just being okay. You know what? I'm gonna know my responsibility better than anybody else, and then I'm gonna execute every single time. So, I hate to say that, I always learn from mistakes. I watch other people and learn from other people, but at the same time, mistake we all learn from our mistakes, and I think that's the biggest thing. We shouldn't shy away from that. And when we do mess something up, it's about how we react to it. We always have a reaction to something, whether it's good or bad. So, um, you know, making sure you have positive reinforcement on the good and the bad, is
Exactly.
always important because something can go really well,
Yeah.
and there's still a way to mess that up as well. Whether take a step back, feel like you can relax. Um, I don't kind of feel pressure, but I always try and push myself as if there's pressure on me. So that's kind of how I think about it.
Well, look, the way you handle adversity is phenomenal, and that's really what defines us, right? Not what happens to us, but how we handle what happens to us and how we respond. I mean, look, last year in college at Illinois, man, you forced 83 missed tackles. That's second only behind Bijan Robinson, which was drafted in the top 10 of this year's draft class. How did you come about this explosion but also the combination of being elusive as a runner?
Trying to be an all-around back.
Mhm.
Trying to add value in every way possible. You can be explosive, but to add elusiveness with that, and to put power behind that and speed. There's just so many benefits to having a player like that on a team. And I was aware of that going into the draft process. So that's something I started working on, my sophomore year.
Yeah.
If I can make people miss in the second level, it's something that you really get a feel for in high school, but
Yeah.
you can become more efficient at certain things as you um focus on certain situations, one-on-one situations, whether you're trying to throw just one stab cut at them, or whether you're throwing like a little 1-2 at them. So
Hmm.
that's just something I worked on by myself, or with my coaches in
Yeah.
college or in high school. So it really started all the way back then. So
Well, look, man, you run the 4.43 and the 40. You're probably faster when you put the tape on. I mean, but blazing speed. We talked about that and being explosive, but the ability to make people miss and be such a well-rounded guy. You've drawn comparisons to a guy like Austin Eckler. When you hear those comparisons, what comes to mind?
I mean, I just think he's an extremely successful running back in this league, and that's something I want to do, and I strive for every single day, in my work, and in my study as well. So to be compared to somebody like that, I think
Yeah.
it's a little bit too early, but eventually, I want to reach that level that he's at, and um, maybe even one day surpass it. So
Chase, as you're making this transition from college to the NFL, what is maybe say one of your major points of emphasis for an area of improvement? What are the one or two things that you look at and say, hey, here's where I want to drill down on this area?
technique,
Mhm.
whether it's in pass protection, running the ball, catching the ball. I want to be a technician in all phases, and I want to add value in every single area I can, whether it's um, on special teams, in the pass game, running the ball. So I want to be well rounded. I want to make it hard for them to uh, take me off the field, but it all starts with um, doing your job,
Yeah.
um, knowing what to do, and making the most of opportunities. So executing. So as long as I take care of those three things, I'll be in a good position. But we also have a deep running back room here, and
Yeah.
it's fun to compete with those guys. And I'm just looking forward to getting to work with them.
Well, you clearly are passionate about the game. What is it that you most love about football?
It's a really good question. Um, Results. I'm a result driven person. So
Yeah.
when I see myself putting in the work off the field and seeing it come to life on game day,
Mhm.
that's what I'm addicted to. The feeling of making a big play, feeling of scoring a touchdown, and just being able to express myself in front of all the fans, and show them, the coaches, my teammates, why how passionate I am about the game,
Yeah.
and why I'm so driven to be successful.
So while growing up in Canada, who was your favorite player that you most enjoyed watching play while you were growing up?
Man, I was super young, but you see guys like Reggie Bush
Yeah.
that I heard of when I was super young. I mean, I watched Troy Polamalu and Ben Roethlisberger in the Super Bowl,
Yeah.
along with Larry Fitzgerald. So just growing up watching those guys, I didn't pay extreme attention to one player. I kind of just
Yeah.
watched all the playoff games and the Super
Hmm.
Bowls and anything that we could get on the TV back
Yeah.
then. But um, really came to respect the games of Christian McCaffrey and Alvin
Yeah.
Kamara as I got older. Just guys that are threats in the run and the pass game. So um, yeah, I guess as I got older, I started paying attention to running backs specifically. But when I was young,
Yeah.
I used to watch everybody.
Well, that's kind of cool though to take a lot of different people in terms of, how they help build your image of the game and your anticipation to play it. I like the fact that you had a lot of different groups. and people at different positions. When you got the call from the Cincinnati Bengals, they let you know that they were drafting you. You probably imagine that, man, I'm going to be in the same offense and in the same backfield with the Joe Burrow. And I know when everyone heard your name call, we got excited because we imagined your talents in this offense with a bunch of other talented offensive players. And then our imaginations just ran wild with us. What occurred for you as you began to think of yourself playing in this offense?
Man, I'll tell you one thing. As soon as I got that call, it was just a sense of relief. Like I
Yeah.
knew where I was going to call home. That was the main thing. I knew where I was going to call home. So, just extremely blessed that I was drafted to a locker room full of talented, dominant players like Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Joe Mixon. Like that's what ran through my mind. I'm like, I'm on a championship caliber team. Second of all, it's just it's exciting to see these guys work, be around them, learn from them. And just in a way when I'm just like watching them, see how, Jamar Chase, what's his routine like, always see him catching jugs after practice, working on his technique. So just picking and choosing what I want to add to my own routine from observing these guys. And it's honestly a blessing because I'm trying to take as much as I can in a short period of time and just, master my own routine so I can be on the level of those guys one day.
A couple of more questions before we let you go. We talked about your journey going from Ontario, Canada, then to Bradenton, Florida. But initially you were at Western Michigan, and then you go to University of Illinois. And I got to tell you, Chase, it's not lost on me that guys like yourself and Devin Witherspoon and several other players, you guys all kind of came together. This was a very special class of players coming out of the University of Illinois. You guys turned them into a winner, man. You guys took them from a place that they hadn't been in a very long time right to the top. What do you have to say about just understanding what it takes to turn a program into a winner, and like what you guys were able to do at the University of Illinois?
Yeah, just staying the course. And we went through a lot, and we lost a lot of games. And that's honestly was the foundation of what drove us when the new coaching staff came in. And we started to see so much growth because everybody was so dedicated to their own craft and performing on game day, which was the main thing. We were all so fundamentally sound and so situationally aware during games that, man, we were a hard football team to beat. And I mean, if you were gonna beat us, it was off our mistakes, right? That's usually how we lose. So I mean, man, we were just fundamentally sound. Not many turnovers, not many mental errors, and we limited penalties. And I mean, our defense was lights out, and as long as we scored 28 to 30 points a game, I mean, we were winning. So that was kind of the transition, is just being sound in every area.
Well, you were one of the great leaders on that team, and you should be proud of what you guys were able to build and what you left behind, right, for the younger players to come up. And now you make the transition to the pro game. And you said it yourself. You now know where you're going to be living. It's going to be here in Cincinnati, and we're just so happy to have you. I got to ask you, have you found your favorite restaurant yet?
Man, I haven't been able to get out enough. I've been to Ruth Chris a couple times.
That's a good get. That's good.
I've been to Yard House.
Okay.
Honestly, anywhere around where I'm kind of
keeping it close by. Yeah. The guy's got to take you to Jeff Ruby's. You got to try it. Yeah. And then if you like chicken, then tell him to get you over to OTR to try the Eagle. It's great chicken. You're going to absolutely love it.
I heard about the Eagle literally yesterday. It was like, you go by and get something. And I didn't go. But you know what? Since you said it, I'll make sure I go this weekend.
You get there, you tell them I sent you. They'll take great care of you because they love all things Cincinnati Bengals, okay?
Awesome. No, I can't wait.
All right, Chase.
I'll
Hey,
let
we
you know
look
how it
forward
is.
to watching you play, man. We appreciate you taking the time. We called you off the practice field, man. He was putting in extra work. I'm just so very impressed, and I know Cincinnati Bengals fans are excited to have you here in Cincinnati, and we're excited to see you play. All the best to you, Chase.
Yes, sir. I just want to end it. I haven't done anything yet, so I'm sure we'll talk again at some point, and hopefully I made an impact by then. So
I'm
we'll
sure
talk
you
soon.
will, young man. Take care now. Bye
All right,
bye.
take care. Bye.